Welcome back, viewers. In this series, we are going to start sessions on monitoring, evaluation, learning, and research. Basically, when it comes to monitoring, evaluation, learning, and research, so you would have heard different names: M&E, MEL, MERL, etc. etc. So, what our focus in this series is to discuss what monitoring is, what is performance monitoring, what is result based monitoring, what is evaluation, what is learning, research, and then logic models, how to develop those logic model like TUC, LogFrame, result framework, indicator, its types and levels, and what are M&E framework and M&E plan and how to develop them. So we will be discussing all these different topics in these different sessions. So in this session one, our focus is monitoring first. We will start from this content, that what are the concepts of monitoring, what is the process or performance monitoring, and what is the result or impact monitoring, and project management, because you do monitoring for project management, and then monitoring visits and compilation of monitoring visits report, etc. etc. So these will be the key content of this session one, and then in next session we will go ahead with other session on evaluation, learning, and logic models, how to develop them, what are indicators, how to develop indicators, what are the framework, what are a mini plan, etc. So we will go through all these different details in these sessions. Now let's start with monitoring. And always remember that learning without application is just an input. If you are just learning and not applying them, so this is just an input which will not be that much useful. So whenever you are learning, so just apply them. So here also we will be giving you chances to apply those learning. So let's start with the first one. What is monitoring? It is the systematic and continuous collection and analysis of information about the progress of a development intervention. Whatever intervention you are implementing in your project, so it is a systematic and continuous collection. These two words you must remember. This is systematic and continuous collection and analysis of the information that you are gathering about the progress of a development intervention or whatever project you are implementing. It is a continuous management function. You are managing to assess if progress is made in achieving the expected results. Every project starts with expected results, so you are going to monitor that whether those results have been achieved or not. We will discuss this further in other slides. Now, why we do this monitoring? So the why of monitoring is this is done if progress is made in achieving the expected results. So how to spot bottlenecks in implementation? You see, you monitor the implementation continuously, so you spot bottlenecks. Where are the bottlenecks? Where are the issues? To highlight whether there are any unintended effects, positive or negative, from a program or project or its activities. And this monitoring is also done to ensure that all people who need to know about an intervention, I mean by the stakeholder, are properly informed. They should be informed, and so that decisions can be taken in a timely manner. All the stakeholders, the project management, the departments that you are working with, the beneficiaries, everyone, so that they are informed and decisions can be taken in consultation with all of them. Monitoring is done to assess quantity, quality, resources in time. This can be described as like quantity target achieved, quality is there, resources are utilized properly and achieved within the timelines. All these different variables you need to keep in mind while doing the monitoring. Whether the targets, the quantity is achieved or not, whether there is the quality or only the target is achieved. Number of people are trained. There is no quality in the training. Resources are utilized properly, and that is done within the timeline. Four key factors you need to keep in mind while doing the monitoring. Now, there are different types of monitoring, but in this first session, we will discuss these two types: process or performance monitoring and result or impact monitoring. And then we will go in detail with the process or performance monitoring in session one, and then in session two onward, we will go with the other types and evaluation in other sessions. So, the first type, that is process or performance monitoring, you can see the words. It's monitoring of the process or the performance. It focuses on activities carried out as part of a development intervention. Your monitoring is focused on those activities, whether those are carried out or not. It is designed to assess whether and how well those activities are being implemented. This is the quality part. How well those activities are being implemented. Not just the activities carried out, but how well. And then it also covers the use of resources. And process monitoring is designed to provide the information needed to continually plan and review work, assess the success or otherwise of the implementation of project and programs. It is to identify and deal with problem and challenges and propose solutions. That is very important, not just to identify and deal with the problem and challenges, it is to propose solutions. These steps, if you follow all these points, so you can identify proper solutions and those solutions can be used in other projects also. Then the next one is the result or impact monitoring. So here the result or impact monitoring aims to assess the changes brought about by a project or program on a continuous basis. It often this means assessing changes in a target population, communities, suggested organizations, targeted decision makers. Impact monitoring can be used to assess progress towards goals and objectives. It's type of evaluation, but and it is different from evaluation because evaluation is done in a specific time, and this is a monitoring which you are doing continuously. But here the focus is on the results. Now let me explain one thing. What is not monitoring? Police are imposing. This is not monitoring. You go to the field, you say this is not good, this is bad, etc., etc. So this is not monitoring. This is just policing and imposing. It's pointing out. It should be rather to highlight and work on solution. Monitoring is to highlight and work on solution. Now we will go into detail in the different stages and phases of performance monitoring. Now here are some questions for you. What in your opinion is performance monitoring? Why should we do that? Think about it. Pause the video and think about it. Process or performance monitoring, as we discussed in the previous slide, it focuses on activity. It is designed to assess how well those activities are being implemented. It is to provide information needed to continually plan and review work. And it is to identify and deal with problem and challenges and propose solutions. So this is the basic purpose of performance monitoring. Now, why? Simply look at the logic behind intervention, why we do performance monitoring. So the logic of intervention, you would have seen this is the logic of intervention: input, activities, output, outcome, and goal. Now here you can see there are two parts. This part, this comes under the evaluation, and this one also comes under the result based monitoring, but under the evaluation mostly because you conduct a detailed studies for them. Now this part, this is foundational. If tracked properly, if this part is tracked properly, so will contribute to the result, outcome, and goal. So this part will obviously be in a good shape. If this foundational part is achieved and tracked and monitored properly. So this is basically the monitoring, and this is the evaluation. Most important one for this one is the performance monitoring that you do for this part. Now, some basic analysis questions. There are some questions that you need to understand that when we are doing performance monitoring to obtain data information and track performance. So, what are the basic questions that I should ask? Question number one: what work has been carried out? Because for any project staff or M&E person, there is a detailed work plan available. So, first you need to understand that work plan, and you would know what the work has been proposed for a specific project. Now, here, this is your first question. What work has been carried out under a specific activity? What work was planned but not done? This is also a very important question that you need to ask. Why was this work not done? What problems have been encountered? How were these problems addressed, if at all there were some problem? If they were not addressed, why not? And what opportunities have been identified during these problems addressals and these solutions. Is the project program on track to deliver its objective? When you ask all these questions, so the last question that you have in mind is to ask, is the project or program on track to deliver its objective? These are not the questions that you are going to ask from the project management. You are going and you are coordinating with the project team in the field and in the main offices, and you are not exactly asking this question, but you will see onward if you follow all those tasks and steps, so you will have responses against these questions. But all the performance monitoring is based on these questions. Now, how you are going to do this performance monitoring and how you are going to ensure that you have the responses against all these questions, because these are some of the very important questions regarding the performance monitoring. So what we need to know and do for the performance monitoring, steps to follow. Steps number one, the prerequisites. What are the prerequisites? What are the processes that I need to know and do? What are the next step and then the next step and then the next step and then the next step? These are basically those steps that you need to follow to do a good performance monitoring and have a successful project implementation. Now we will discuss each step in detail. And a cross-cutting at every stage, you have to compile lesson learned, issues and challenges at each stage and step. And while compiling those, you should have a knowledge management tool to compile and keep those information with you, which will serve as a best practices guide, and you can do some annual lesson learned workshop also based on those compiled lesson learned issues and challenges at every stage. So basically, these are those steps. These are total 7 steps, and then 1 to 7 is cross cutting. The first one, prerequisites. So what are the prerequisites? Work plan, detail implementation of the project, that must be in place. Logic model, TUC, LogFrame, result framework, all these logic model should be there. M&E plan or indicator tracking sheets, that should be there. Skills related to data collection, data analysis and reporting. Every activity must have a proper tool and SOPs with set frequency for filling, updating databases and sharing the data. And data and information management system databases. So an M&E person should ensure these for performance monitoring. If you want to know what is logic model, what is a many plane, so on this, in this series we will be bringing up sessions. I have already done a detailed session on work plan and detailed implementation plan. The link is given in the description. While I am now developing session on these also, that how you can develop logic model in any plane, etc., etc. But these are the prerequisites for performance monitoring. Now the next step is the processes. What are the processes? When you have all those prerequisites, when you are fine with all those detail, so then comes data collection, data cleaning and data analysis. This is the routine data collection. So for this, in some organization there is database people, MIS, but database and MIS comes under M&E. That must be part of the M&E in some ways, because both of these functions works together and ensure achieving the best results. So in this process, uh, the first one, there should be a data and information management system, a database, according to the indicators and the tools that have been developed for that specific project. There should be set proper frequencies of data obtaining from project staff. There are frequencies that regarding this indicator and this activity, you will receive data on monthly basis, weekly basis, quarterly. That should already have been set. Data collection along with follow-up and oversee. If there are separate database officers, so you need to work with them that whether the data is coming to us or not, and follow up and oversee. If there are errors in the data, so you need to follow up and coordinate with the database office, people also, and the project staff also in the field and in the main offices. Weekly meeting you can conduct to review coming data and cleaning, or you can do bi-weekly or monthly meetings. Data cleaning and analysis on monthly, weekly basis. That should be a continuous part, because if there is data, a good data, so if it will provide you information. If there is no information, you are blind. You are nowhere to go. Whether you do it yourself or you ask someone else to do it, but you need to ensure this, because you are an M&E and this comes under performance management. And record lesson learned, issues and challenges at each state. So here also you have to record what are the issues coming in the data, which type of activities are mostly not clear to the project staff and the tools are not filled properly. What are the challenges about the data collection, the data cleaning and data analysis. So if you identify such type of areas, so you can develop a training for the project staff to enhance their understanding of the tools and the activities and the purpose, so that they give you good quality data. Then comes up the follow up and coordination with project management staff. This is the routine follow up on routine basis regarding issues, challenges, that hey, there are these issues coming, please address these issues. It should not be done like this. There are issues and target. First, the issues and challenges regarding data, and then issues challenges regarding achievements, and then update progress, identify issues. You should update those lesson learned management tool with such type of issues and challenges also, and record lesson learned at this stage also. So this is a routine follow up that you can do through different ways. How? Follow up through phone, MS Teams, Skype. You have gone to the field, so just you already know about. If you have a good coordination with the project staff, a regular coordination with the project staff, so you would have all those issues in your mind every time. So whenever you meet anyone in the project, so you can discuss with them via phone, MS Teams, Skype, field visit, etc. This is just a routine follow up. Now there are field visits. You go to field and compile field visit report. So you develop a field visit plan. First, you need to develop field visit plan. Why I am going, what you have to observe, and what are the tools that you will be using, and monitoring tools. And you have to coordinate with the project staff also, that hey, I am coming on these dates and we need to discuss these agenda points, so they should be informed. Then compile information from field. You go to the field. So in the field, when you go, so just don't go only to the field, to the community where the activities are being implemented. That's also very important, because you can compile some information from the field, from the communities, and that is usually very good information. But the focus should be only to obtain information regarding the issues and challenges of that activities. Otherwise, most of the time, when you announce that I have come here from a specific project, and if there are any issues and challenges, so the people would be coming to you and with a wish list, and that would create some more problems for the project staff. So you need to be focused on that specific activity and obtain information regarding that. So compile information from the field. Then when you come to the office of that specific district or that specific field, so you need to conduct a debriefing and review with the staff at the end of your visit. You have to provide them the information that what recorded in the monitoring tools, coordination with the project staff in the field, and the information from the field that you have collected. So you need to discuss that with the project staff, and also discuss those issues and challenges that are coming in the data in the previous step, so you can discuss those issues also, because this is a chance for you that you are face to face with them. So that is also a very good opportunity for you. So, and here also you can share with them the progress and see whether that specific district is on track or not. And then you ensure that there is an action plan developed based on the field visit, the meeting that you do with them, the debriefing session. So based on that debriefing session, they must develop an action plan, that how what were the areas that were discussed and how they are going to improve those which were weak, and how they are going to ensure and continue those areas which were good. You can combine lesson learned, issues and challenges at this stage from the field staff, because when it is in the field, so it's a very good opportunity for you, because the most of the relevant information would come to you from the field, whether you have gone there physically or whether you are arranging a remote session with them. That is the most important thing. because the people in the field know everything and they have the ground realities, the information about the ground realities, which help a lot in the compilation of lesson learned. And then there are routine reviews. Here you have a routine review and debriefing with project staff based on the data received and field visit. Because you have already done some field visit, you are receiving this data, so you discuss with the project staff that is located with you in the same office or in some other offices through phone during visits, MS Team and Skype regarding progress, issues, challenges, and unmet targets. So after that field visit, you can do such type of routine review with other that field visit were in a specific field. Here you are doing based on your the information of the all the steps that we discussed in the previous slides. So all this information you can discuss with the different project heads. For example, if the project is in 10 districts, so the district coordinator and key staff of the districts, you can have a meeting with them through Skype and through phone or through MS Team, etc., regarding all these things. Then there are tracking sheets. The next step is tracking sheets. It should be always with you. Performance tracking sheet. One is work plan, the next one is indicator tracking sheet. Regular coordination on this with project management and staff regarding progress. Update progress, identify issues, unmet targets, and compile. So what you have to do with these two information, update tracking sheets for indicator, ITT, and work plan metrics. Work plan metrics is updated regarding the activities that are being implemented. And the indicator tracking sheet is updated with the data regarding the indicators, the numbers that will provide you information about the targets that were set regarding the indicator. So both these two types of sheet must be there with you updated at least on monthly basis. Then performance review, proper performance review. This is a formal one. A formal one with the project management that you can do in person while inviting all the field colleagues also and the project management team, or if that is not possible, so only with the project, the key official that are responsible for management of the project. So in this session, you discuss the performance, the way forward, and the plan for the next month or the quarter. So here you report the data performance with the management, highlighting the unmet targets and issues and challenges, both the work plan and ITT. Here you ensure that project staff develop an action plan for next month quarter based on the progress and achievement and issues, challenges and targets that you have discussed under these steps. So all this meeting should be recorded and there should be an action plan for the next month or next quarter in which there should be two areas, weak areas of the previous quarter that needs improvement and good areas of the previous quarter that need further work to continue and to scale up. So these are those performance review. Then the cross cutting, as I already told you, that at every stage you should compare lesson learned, issues, challenges, and share them for course correction. So if you follow all these steps, the prerequisites, the processes, the follow up, the field visit, routine review, performance tracking sheet, and then performance review, all these sets are properly planned and done in a proper way, so there is a greater chance of success in the project. Now what is evaluation? The next thing is this, but that will come soon in the next session. But before the evaluation, we will discuss in session indicators, types and levels, logic models, TUC, LogFrame, M&E framework and M&E plan. So hope you enjoyed the session. If there are any question or comments, so you can comment on this video and we will come up with solutions. If you like the video, so kindly click the like button, share it and subscribe the channel. Dear viewers, we have started this YouTube channel. There are free of cost learning tutorial on if you want to learn Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Access, PowerPoint, MS Word, other learning tips. So we have detailed playlist and there are hundreds of tutorials on Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, how to design presentation, Microsoft Access, how to develop databases and manage data, online data collection, learning Google Form, Kobo, MS Forms. If you visit this channel, you can find lots of video tutorial. Kindly support us, visit the channel, For example, in MS Excel, you will find these sessions in a proper sequence. For example, in MS Excel playlist, we have this basic session and then session 2, 3, 4. So if you start learning these sessions, so from the start, you can go ahead and you will find in a sequence sessions on Microsoft Basics, data analysis, conditional format, pivot tables, use of if, concatenate formulas, dependent drop-down list, validation, name managers, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP function, F function, advanced use of count, F in some ifs, how to find duplicates, tricks and tips related to Microsoft Excel, how to develop search boxes, searchable drop-down list, aggregate functions, tracking performance of the projects or any other analysis of research that you have conducted, for example, school and other such studies. There are sessions on how to develop beautiful charts, attractive charts, speedometers, dashboards in Microsoft Excel. Similarly, in PowerPoint also you will find how to design beautiful presentation in PowerPoint, how to do in MS Access also you will find all these sessions in proper sequence. The Access tutorials playlist, there are almost 8 sessions. In session 1 you will find the basics, how to create tables, queries, forms, and then you will go on with advanced options in Microsoft Access. Similarly, you will find tutorial on how to collect online data, Google Form, Kobo, MS Form. You will find also the use of MS Word, the mail merge functions. There are sessions on SPSS also, so you can learn SPSS if you need to do some analysis in SPSS. There is a series on project management also, how to conduct need assessment studies. Kindly support us, visit the channel, watch, learn, and improve your productivity. Thank you so much.